the NBA is awesome right now. The fact that it's not just one team can win at the start of the year, two teams, like as you've pointed out, like the player empowerment parity, there's great basketball. Like this series has been incredible. Friday night was amazing. Indiana should have won that game. They're going to be kicking themselves until they win a title, which maybe never.
Yeah. Right after that game, people were saying that might have been the championship right there.
The change with about a minute left in the third quarter into, last night is a remarkable. It's not momentum.
But the pressure on Oklahoma City to have to win 3 straight, all that would have been.
It was so close.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And it was well played. And they got stars and they kind of talk trash. And I don't know. I don't know what people generally think of the NBA. Like people are like, the ratings are down. And I don't work in TV sales, so I don't care. It's just fun. I think it's a good league.
When you talk we have talked many times, player empowerment has really done this for the NBA. But look across all sports. And we should go back and look at articles that were written. You guys will remember this for sure. Having lived in the pre-free agency era, that was the big thing, is free agency is going to ruin sports.
Well, yeah.
That will ruin things. We're trying to keep things competitive. We're trying to, the NFL's goal was parity, not making something funny over something that was serious. That's a parody song. The parody with the T would be, they wanted everybody to be equal. So that's why the worst team got the top draft pick and all this kind of stuff. And they said if free agency starts, that will ruin everything because just the rich teams will be able to buy up all the players. And it turns out that free agency was the perfect thing for parity. And maybe more so, or maybe it's in combination, is the cap.
Yeah.
Because it does make you have to, even things out. And right now, people are saying the NBA cap is as close to a hard cap as you can get in sports.
Without having one? Yeah.
Yeah. Because of all these rules and the double apron and all this kind of stuff. In fact, there's probably, is there a good argument that the Mavs were worried about that if they have to pay Anthony Davis the same amount as Luka?
Not really.
Okay. But that is a thing in sports. Like Boston's wondering, can we keep all these guys or we can't? Yeah, that's interesting. I think an interesting story is the fact that Jenny Bouchek, is it Bouchek?
I've always said Bouchek, but I could be wrong.
So you see her on the bench with the Pacers.
Yeah.
Was she a Mavs coach too?
Oh, yeah, for a few years. She went to Virginia, where Carlisle went, so they've known each other a long time. I think I've interviewed her. I've definitely seen her at practice.
And she's like the Pacers' defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And the Pacers, even if they only win 2 games here, they've done more than anybody thought that they could do.
And they could score the piss out of the ball last year. The defense this year I didn't know she was a defensive coordinator, but I do know the story around their team is that their defense got way, way better.
So in any other or whatever, if she was a dude, people are talking about her for that Knicks job.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't considered that because, Becky Hammon was all the rage for a minute.
Right, and I thought she might have had a chance to be the first ever, kind of like Ma Ferguson, in the sense that if Popovich steps down and says, I deem Becky Hammon as my successor, that probably would have happened.
Yeah. That's interesting because, the Mavericks assistants are getting interviews. Like Sean Sweeney got one. There's been others. Greg St. Jean left, right? He got hired, not as a head coach, but got an elevated coordinator job, I think. I don't know. I've never considered it. It seems like in the NBA we don't press it that much. You don't really hear about it.
Do you think it'll ever happen?
I hear about it in any sport. Head coach?
I feel like it will if it happens anywhere, it'll be the NBA first.
Yeah.
Just because there are women's clearly, the WNBA is nowhere near the NBA or really even like a good high school league as far as the players are concerned. But the fame of them, like I feel like it has to be somebody like a Nancy Lieberman who has maybe a Caitlin Clark, somebody with a big name value and skins, and then they go into coaching, and maybe now they also need a thing like a relationship with a Carlisle or a Popovich. Like, I think it's going to happen. I mean, the first black head coach was the NBA, and it was only because it was Bill Russell, and he was already like the team captain, well known, and then Red Auerbach, was there and knew that Bill Russell could be.
He knew he was not.
You needed a lot of different things to happen to make that first one happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like Obama. He was like, "Oh, first black president." I'm like, "Yeah, but let's see." Guy grew up in a white house. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same thing.